Ayatoiv ki noi chol rachamecha ve'amedochem ki lo yisamu ki lo yisamu ki lo yisamu chasadecha ki me'olam kivenu lo oy ki me'olam kivenu lo ki me'olam kivenu lo. Take a good old tight on that word me'olam kivenu lach. It says, "Kivim makli avarti et hayarden hazeh." Yaakov Avinu, Yonatan Razal made those words very famous. Kivim makli avarti. It's with my makel avarti et hayarden hazeh. So it says makel. What is the makel that through which a yid goes through this world? All the yardenim of the world, all the rivers of the world. So in Slonim they say makel is v'shetevus me'olam kivinu lach. That is my makel. There's nothing else. I don't have anything else. That is my makel. That is the way that I pass everything. Okay. This, in order to understand something about the meraglim, there's something mind-blowing that we see straight out of the Tanya, Perek Chavtet in the Tanya, chapter 29 in the Tanya. And the Alter Rebbe is going to refer. We're going to get to Be'ezrat Yeshua only in probably like 6 months or much, maybe not even. We're starting Perek Hay now. Hopefully it'll take us 6 years till we get there. We're gonna nice and slow, nice and chill. So here, what we have in front of us from the Alter Rebbe is something that really, really, really looks at the whole inyan of the meraglim in a very unique way. Every year you come and approach this to despise it. Lo muvan, mamash lo muvan. It's not. It's almost, the two questions come up. A is, how could they have said what they said about Eretz Yisrael? But the harder question is, Rabbanu Shalom, why did you have to let me know about it? Why did you have to let me know that such great people did such a bad thing? That's how we look at the end of Baalotcha, last Shabbos, Miriam and Aaron. Like, on the one hand, I see, like, how could they have spoken about Moshe? But part of me has to also cry and say, Rabbanu Shalom, there could have been another way, right, that you could show me that they're not perfect. So it hurts me. It has to hurt me a little bit. So with the meraglim, it has to hurt me a little bit as well, that I know bichlal of something. Like if I know about someone that I really respected, that they did something gravely wrong, right? Mazay al-Seli. Do I spend time wondering, how could they do such a thing? Or is there a part of me that says, wow, what do I, obviously I needed to know this, but it hurts me. I'm just acknowledging it, but it hurts me. So the way the Alter Rebbe, though, is going to take us on a journey right now is very, very unique, in a way that only he can do. The learning should be for the Refuah Shlema of Yakir Ephraim ben Rachel Dvara. A birthday today, right? Happy birthday. Mitchila amru ki chazak hu mimenu. Al tikri mimenu ela mimenu. I'm not going to go into that right now. In the beginning, what did the meraglim say? Chazak hu mimenu. That what? That the land is stronger than. That's what it seems to say. Or that's what's tricky. Mimenu. It's a tricky. Yeah. It's a. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to go there because that's already a whole nother parsha, right? But let's just see what the Alter Rebbe is saying. That's what they came back from Eretz Yisrael and they said, look, who are we? Come on. We're like, we've been out of slavery how many years? 40 years. Huh? Oh, sorry. Not even. It's before the journey. I remember clearly. Shelo yaminu biyecholet Hashem. But the Alter Rebbe is saying, no. They didn't believe in the yecholet of HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
After they saw the miracles.
That's what's so shocking.
But that's not. Sorry, I'm saying this, and I'm sure it's because I don't understand properly. But Moshe Rabbeinu kind of brings up the question at the end of Parsha also. Like, where am I going to bring the food from? Where am I going to bring so much meat? Ayad Hashem Titzar.
Oh, last Shabbos.
I mean,
It could.
I'm just-
Love Duke.
yeah, I know it's again.
Love
I'm
Duke.
sure it's not my readings. Right.
Let's see how he says it. Let's see how he sticks with this. So that's what they in the beginning they said Chazaku mimenu. Now he's learning it on the way of like that Hashem can. It's too hard. It's too hard to conquer such a thing. It's too fortified. There's no way we can get in there. Ve'achar kach chazru v'amru hinenu ve'alinu. But then after they get zetzed by Tochecha, they come back and they say, we can do this. Hinenu ve'alinu. Ume'ayin chazra u'ba la'hem ha'emunah b'yicholet Hashem. Like, what changed in the meraglim that suddenly now they felt, oh yeah, Hashem can do this. But in the beginning, they felt like, no, Hashem can't do this. What transpired? Alter Rebbe is saying, "Harei lo ira lehem Moshe Rabbeinu lev Shalom shum ot u'mofet al zeh b'intayim." Moshe Rabbeinu didn't perform any miracles to show them how wondrous things could be for this specific reason. So what changed that now the meraglim are basically in a zone of, u'akol yachol. What happened about their emunah and the yacholet of Hashem?
You're talking about
Between the report
and
the report
the Mapini.
and between Moshe Rabbeinu then Hashem coming down and things getting really gnarly, and then right afterwards saying, no, we can do it. What happened? רק שאמר להם איך שקצף השם עליהם. Moshe Rabbeinu didn't do any miracles for them. He just let them know, do you know how angry you got God? ונשבע שלא להביאם אל הארץ, and he swore to not bring you guys to the land. ומה הועיל זה להם אם לא היו מאמינים ביכולת השם חס ושלום לכבוש למד א' מלכים? ומפני זה לא רצו כלל להיכנס לארץ. Saying, what did they get from hearing about how angry Hashem was? And what changed in them? Why did they now think, oh no, it's possible. You were already told you're not going in. What changed in their concept of the Yicholet of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, how they felt about things? You hear the questions? You hear these questions? It's כולם צריכים לשאול את זה באמת. מוזר שלא שואלים את זה. מה פתאום? What changed? So here, to really understand the answer, you have to cry over the Tanya for a few years, because he's going to explain to us al derech l'mivneh of the nefesh elokit and the nefesh bahamit. He's going to explain to us the answer based on the design of the animalistic soul and the godly soul. It's really, really out there. אלא ודאי מפני שישראל עצמן הן מאמינים בני מאמינים. For sure, every Jew inside is a believer. And that's true. All of us are believers. Rabbi Shlomo said, if someone comes up to you and tells you don't believe in God, don't believe them. Simple. It's not something you start to go into. You don't believe them. It's not something that you believe. Why? Because Yisrael עצמם הם מאמינים בני מאמינים. What's the problem? רק שהסיטרא אחרא המלובשת בגופם, brother other side, that's enclosed in you, in your body, היא גביעה עצמה על אור קדושת נפשם האלוקית. That energy of the other side that exists within us, it elevated itself and started hovering over and covering and concealing the light of the holiness of the nefesh elokit, begasut rucha vegvahuta bechutzpa bli tam vadat. You ever notice that you act meshuga, that you act really weird, and you can't explain it at all? Bli tam vadat, you act with such chutzpah, you have no idea where this came from, you can't explain it at all. Alter Rebbe is saying, listen, there's something that exists within you, and that's a milchama pnimit between these two sides. At those moments where the light, where the sitra achra conceals your own light, you start acting in ways you can't believe you spoke the way you spoke. You ever been shocked at the way you spoke to someone? Shalom neda. You say something to your wife. You could try to sit there afterwards to justify on all the holy justifications in the world. Blame it on being exhausted or whatever it is. But what allows you to speak bechutzpah bli tam vadat is that simply your nefesh elokit is here, but the sitra achra comes and covers over and doesn't give you access to who you really are. And you start saying things that you can't even imagine you were going to say. ולכן, third line, מיד שקצף השם עליהם, right after Hashem mamash gave it to them, והרעים בכל רעש ורוגז, עד מתי לעדה הרעה הזאת, and he starts saying out loud, until when are this עדה רעה, this bad type of people, right? Like Hashem looks at the meraglim and says, how much longer are you guys going to stick your heads in the ground, talking in ways that you can't explain for your life? במדבר הזה יפלו פגריכם, and God says, you're all going to die here. אני השם דיברתי, אם לא זאת אעשה לכל העדה הרעה הזאת. Meaning, after they heard such words coming from Hashem, וכששמעו דברים קשים אלו, when the meraglim heard such harsh words, נכנע ונשבר ליבם בקרבם. They had הכנעה. Now in Hebrew, modern Hebrew, הכנעה means to give up. But הכנעה, the way we learn it over here, הכנעה is like a midbar. מוכנע, Eretz Knan, לשון הכנעה. What would you say, Ravdani? What would you say is a better word for הכנעה in English? הכנעה.
Surrender?
בוא חי,
Surrender?
הם בדרך. עוד כמה דקות. It's like surrender, yeah, but surrender doesn't sound so Jewish. Submit also, yeah. All of the above. It's this level of like, yeah, of I'm willful. I'm happy to submit. I mean, it's not like you're forcing me. It's just משהו שבא לי מהמקום אמיתי, I guess. Or I'm overcome. I always say like, first time I heard Rabbi Shlomo, אני נכנעתי. But it wasn't a question. It wasn't like a hard bechira. I was like, okay, I'm home and I'm choosing not to have choice anymore. I remember that moment. I was 14. I said, I remember like going through my mind. I was like, ani nichna. Like what I'm hearing is just penetrating through any klipa that exists. I don't know how long I'll stay here. I don't know how many times I'm gonna have to come back here. But this is it. This is home. So you have moments like that where they come and they get you really hard and it's like really strong. So the meraglim experienced the level of, this is beyond me. The words of Hashem about how disgusted he was, he didn't start to, the point here is that God didn't start to say, your ta'anot are wrong, because their ta'anot, al pi pshat, were right. It wasn't sheker. But God's not addressing their ta'anot. He's speaking on a much higher level. He's saying like, yeah, this is an inyan of like, something much greater than like, yes or no, good or bad.
The worst thing a parent can ever see from the worst thing that a kid can ever hear from their parent is not like angry, like I can't believe you, blah, blah, blah. It's disappointment.
Right.
Disappointment is always the most powerful tool.
Right.
Your parents shouldn't use it very often, but like when you show disappointment, the kid is totally broken. Like, because you expected more. It's like angry because you're upset with what I did. What you expected.
Right. It's not about actions at that point.
Yeah.
So, כששמעו דברים קשים אלו, נכנע ונשבר ליבם בקרבם, כי דכתיב ויתאבלו העם מאוד. They went through a very deep mourning. וממילא נפלה הסטרא אחמא מממשלתה וגבותה וגסות רוחה. So what also left them through this achna, that which was covering over them and blinded them from seeing who they were, that thing comes down when you're just willing to be broken. Broken in a good way, like in a chazak way. Not broken, oh, I'm so sad. But when I'm willing to stand before God and say, what do I know? So a lot of other mechitzas that you put up over your nefesh elokit also fall with you when you have a moment of, what do I know? Right? So this is what the Alter Rebbe is saying over here. That happened while they were experiencing reaction to God's words after their report. Now why is he telling us all this? V'Yisrael atzmam hen ma'aminim. We're all ma'aminim. U'mizeh yachol lilmod kol adam. He's saying over here something so important. Every person can learn from this. Shenoflim bo memachshavto svekot al emunah. I don't know if it ever happened to you guys, but if it ever happens to anyone that's with us or I've had moments like this. Rabbi Shlomo once said, and he was asked in an interview once, he's like, did you ever have doubts? He's like, are you kidding me? There were moments in my life I felt like cutting off my beard and becoming a dishwasher in Dallas. I don't know why dishwasher. I don't know why Dallas, but that's what he said. I had moments like that too.
There's mikvah stories in Dallas.
Maybe that's why. The vision that's maybe that's it. I don't know. Water. Hekesh. I don't know. My dishwasher water. Mikvah water. He's saying anyone that has a machshava of a safek in emunah, he must know, right, that moment, it feels real, right? It only feels real because there's something that's covering over what really feels real. He says, Kihem divrei ruach hasitra achra levada. This is just the sitra achra. Hamagbia atzma al nafsho. At this moment, when you have a safek, it feels really real. We're not going to deny you feeling that a doubt is something that people really struggle with. But understand the origins of doubts. Understand how there could be a mitziut, there could be a reality that you actually doubt. How could it be that you actually have a safek? It's because at that moment, your nefesh elokit is being shadowed by the gasut ruach of the nefesh ba'amit, of the klipa, of the sitra achra. אבל ישראל עצמם הם מאמינים, וגם הסטרא אחרא עצמה אין לה ספקות כלל באמונה. The sitra, that which is causing you to have a suffix, if that had its own entity, they're just doing their shlichus. They have no sfekas about a God or not. The doubt, like the makor of doubt, the sitra achra, the other side. רק מה? רק שניתן לה רשות לבלבל האדם בדברי שקר ומרמה. It was given the reshut, the permission, to completely confuse man with words of sheker and of cheating, man's mind. Why? Leharbot secharo. So that there could be a sachar for that shliach of the other side. Meaning what? What's the tafkid of the other side? Not to break you, to seduce you to the point that you win. When he loses, he really wins. Meaning, when the Sitra Achra loses, he actually really wins. Because he's like, okay, good, I fulfilled my mission. Why? Because I provided a test, I put a test right before the person. But the point was, not that he actually fails, the point was that he became bigger from this. So he says over here, why did the Sitra Achra has reshut to come and mess you up? Because it's only through being presented with mazes and confusions do you really reach a place that you could actually go higher. And then when you do that, it gets more sachar. That angel that's achray for the bilbuliyada, he gets more reward.
The family trying to come to Israel, the BDS shows up.
Right. So the BDS, when they win, I loved your post yesterday. When they win in Olam Hazeh, everyone loses.
Right, because they lost now. So it's like wait, but
No, they lost. Everyone loses.
But there's a lot of times where they win all of a sudden.
Right.
They come here anyway.
Right.
Can you imagine what kind of pressure?
Different world.
And all of a sudden you come in, you're like, machmati.
Different world. כפיתויי הזונה לבן המלך בשקר ומרמה ברשות המלך, כמו שכתוב בזוהר הקדוש. This is a mashal the Alter Rebbe brings before this in the Tanya. You know this mashal, Tanya, about this? It's amazing. That the son of the king was seduced by a prostitute, but the father of the king has such simcha that the son stood through a seduction. And then the Zonah itself feels she did her job right because he didn't end up falling, but she had to play her role as seducer. You understand? That's what the Sitra Achra is like. It's like they have to play that role, but the way they really win is when they lose. So this is for us right now on a level of like, what are we getting from these words of the Alter Rebbe? Is understand the way he brings down the change in the meraglim. Well, how did they change? How did they change their opinion about what God can do and what he couldn't do? That sometimes it's like when you hear God crying, it's kiviyachol, when you hear inside that Hashem is not, I love you, I love you, I love you, but how could you do this to me? Then at that moment, the Nefesh Elokit takes Memshala again, and that which covered over it loses its Memshala on you, and it comes back down, and then you start being the way you naturally are. When the Nefesh Bahamit is what's covering over, then what ends up happening is we end up doing things we can't even understand. It's clear that after this happened with the meraglim, based on this piece, and their hearts cracked open, there was hachna'ah, they probably looked at each other and said, do you believe what we just said? Can you believe that we actually, that we said what we said? How could we have said what we just said? How, look, the moments in life that shock us the most is not when people from the outside do things that shock us, is that when we act in ways that we're so disgusted, we have no idea, like chutzpah, bli ta'am v'dat. How could it be? How could it be that I had a safek in emunah? How could that be? How could it be? Because the game in this world is very, very, very tricky. But you won. But you won, now you won. The meraglim, they caused b'chia l'dorot. Their hitgabrut sitrach al nefesh elokit caused everyone to live in panic and fear and anxiety. You could affect the whole Eidah, you could affect the destiny of a whole people like this. So alavai, we should be privileged to really learn emunah, like Rabbeinu says, like, what does Rabbi Nachman say? The world thinks that emunah is just another thing, right? Or just a small thing. By me, it's a big, big, big thing. It's a big thing. So, this is the parsha of Mamash Emunah. The parsha of Emunah in ourselves. Emunah in Eretz Yisrael. Emunah in Am Yisrael. We should be privileged to taste from the beauty of believing in Am Yisrael. And believing, that means, by the way, believing in ourselves, because we're part of the Am. All right. Shukran.